Yo. I guess everything is running well. But first I have to clean the whiteboard. Or maybe it's a European board, I don't know. Okay, I have a Podmaster. Yo, Fancy Pen says hi. Laura says, I know you gotta sleep, but I also gotta work, bro. And Cobalt says, Привет, Хачапури. So, hi everyone. Thank you for joining in. And Laura, thank you for joining, even though you had to work. That's very nice of you. Okay, so I'll bring this whiteboard down closer. And ooh la la. Wait, let me do this. Okay, now it's much better. This will be controversial. Yes, I like controversial stuff. Yep. And, but yes, don't be shy. Just as it mentioned here, let Pete says, hey, Pete. Yo. And let me know if it's visible, that you can see this fine. And okay. Are the words visible? Do you have a black marker? I have a black marker, but I don't know where it is. Tamra, har marker hægt what? Har marker besten da? And to me. So to be honest, I don't know how to make it more darker or bring the thingy closer. Yes. Cobalt says, Paka Hachapuri. Paka Cobalt. So I think you should be able to see it. Or maybe this way. It should be better. Now I think you can see it. And then maybe I'll do this. Nope. Nico says, yo. Okay. So, I guess we'll have enough people to make the greeting. This was my dudes. Yeah, sorry for the screech. But it has to be done. It's kind of a tradition now. So let me know if the audio is fine and you can see the thingy. Maybe we can try 50%. No, 20%. That was kind of random. Well, yeah, it was. It was. So yes, ask me anything about politics, and I'll try to answer. Ich will antworten. Zu deiner Frage. Who's the best president you've ever had and why? That's a good question. The thing is, all of our presidents were great because one of the main responsibilities that they have as a president is to be the unity of the people, to be the symbol of unity. And throughout all of those presidents, we've never had civil war. So it means that all of them did their job well. So I guess they're great, kinda. Even though I don't like them, they're great, I guess. But at the same time, who's the best? There was actually a president who happened to be a translator. And in his time, I have to say, the Mongolian economy boomed. So I guess he was fine. And later on, we had a president from the Democratic Party, and things started to go down, I think. But I can't really say it like that out loud because it's too simplified. There's so much context. The one that smacks down. Okay, so he wasn't a president, he was a marshal. He was a de facto leader of the Mongolian Republic at the time. That guy, he was cool. Yeah, he smacks down. But he died later on because of that. What a way to not answer this properly. Joke. Maybe you should answer who's the worst. It is simple. Oh. I don't like the current president. Maybe after he finishes term, maybe I'll get to see his results. But just at the moment, at least the way how he got elected was a bit funny. But the thing is, his election campaigns were cringy, but they were effective, I guess, because since they were effective, now he's president. So yeah, but still, that's his campaigns were very cringy. Damn it! He tried to be Mongolian Putin. He took so many photos, imitating Putin's photos, and when they put comparison images on Facebook, we were like, oh no. And some of those pictures were on foreign news websites, and we were like, oh, why? Oh, that was cringy. Okay, me too, bro. What is the main political issue keeping Mongo from evolving, and what would you do about that issue? The main issue is that our economy is highly dependent on one sector, which is very, how do you call it, dangerous, economically speaking, from terms of development as well. That mining, natural resources, raw materials, they've become the main source of income for us. And if the price of raw materials plunge tomorrow, it'll be a huge impact it will have a huge impact on our economy. And I guess one of the reasons why we're not developing that fast is because it's like we're too much dependent on one thing, and it's not doing well at the moment. Like 10 years ago, our economy had boomed because of the price of copper, I don't know, steel, gold, silver, I don't know, silver, those kind of things were going up. But now, not much. So yeah, I think we should diversify our economy to the point that we should become more versatile, I guess. Yeah, then I think we'll be able to have stable success. Yeah, that's an interesting topic to discuss about, I guess. Or at least, if it's not diversified, we should be able to process all the raw materials and then export it to other countries. But China and Russia and maybe other countries wouldn't want us to do that, because of course it is in their best interest to buy cheap materials from us, process it, and then sell it to other countries or to us. So we do have a few obstacles in this case. I'm sure you've made a fine politician. That's a good question. No, that's a good statement. Because the thing is, my name has political flavor to it. BATTUR, which is solid state. But if I was driving, it would be a solid state drive. That was a stupid joke. But anyways, are there nostalgic people of the Cold War times? Cold War times. You mean the socialist era? Yeah, the socialist times. Yes, we do have people who are nostalgic about socialist times, and even I am nostalgic about those times, even though I haven't lived in those times. Strangely, maybe it's passed down in the genes. Who knows? Of course, there were some disadvantages and advantages. The advantages is that people were safe. There was no traffic problems. There was no problems of smog. There was no air pollution. Ulaanbaatar's air was as fresh as steppe air almost. Yeah, the food, even though it lacked different varieties of food, the food that people used to eat here were of high quality. Everyone had apartment, work, education. When it comes to social service, yeah, people used to get quite a lot. But of course they weren't rich, but at least they had their primal needs met. But now we have problems where some people can't even get their food. Some days they don't have work, they don't have places to live, and they don't have education. And it's not safe out here at night, and so on. Lots of problems with smog, traffic, like people with no education have gotten on the higher ranks, so they're getting bribes and so on. These are the problems of the modern times, I guess. Even though we have many choice, many freedom, we also have many stupid people on top. Yeah, so I am kind of nostalgic about the Cold War times in a way. you'll somehow elevate Mongolia, even if it's not through political means. That's my desire. Yeah, it's your destiny, but yes. And oh yes, what could be done about the pollution now? That's a good question. I've recently had a discussion about this topic with my sister. It would have been very cool. Okay, let me try to come up with what you call Mongolian map, and then try to talk about my idea on how to solve the pollution. But I don't know if it's the best idea. Na 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 na. Okay, let's go like this. Okay, so now I can see the discussion. Okay, so what could be done about the pollution now? What the Mongol politicians think of politics in Buryatia? So James Verley, it's difficult to talk much about politics in Buryatia because it's politics of Russia. So we don't try to intervene in Russians' internal politics. But we would like to have Buryatia in our side. Anyways, okay, so the pollution part. This is my grand scheme idea, which could help people. Who knows? Okay, so as you see, right now we have Ulaanbaatar here, the capital city, and then we have 21 regions, or we call them AMACs, and the problem of smog, the pollution, is that all the people from these regions, they're flocking into the capital city mostly. And now the capital city contain almost, maybe even more than half of the entire population of Mongolia. Why? Because the capital city has hospitals, schools, social service infrastructures, and so on, where they can get anything within like few distance of, I don't know, within a few minutes of distance. And that's why a lot of people are coming here, and then they don't have an apartment, so they'll end up living in their traditional house, and traditional house need fuel during the winter, and then they burn wood, coal, and then the smoke is trapped within the 4 mountains, and we all breathe in those smoke, and that's why we have this pollution. And the cause of this problem, in my opinion, is that all of these smaller regions or AMACs, they don't have enough infrastructure, I guess, social infrastructure like schools, hospitals, and everything. So instead of trying to improve these things in all of these regions, my suggestion is that it's best to divide the country into 5 different regions, like bigger regions. By 5, I mean, first we could get the central, which could be Ulaanbaatar, or 2 AMAC, the central AMAC, Dondqav, and let's say Urhanga and Arhanga. Okay, these four regions could become the central regions, the central region. And then we could have Zavhan Os Bayangulgi Haupt as the western, Qawatla Bayanghangar Omn Qaw and Dorn Qaw as the southern, Sukhbatar Under Khan or Hinti, and Chabasang as the eastern. And we could get Darhan Erdent Kovskul as the northern. And okay, hear me out. The idea is each one of these big 5 regions would have their own center, their own capital. And the capital of the central would be Ulaanbaatar, of course. Then the capital of the northern part would be Erdent. Why? Because Ulaanbaatar and Erdent, they're close to each other. Let's say 200, no, maybe more than 200. 400, 500 kilometers. There's a distance like that. And then let's make it like Hinti, like Underhan. Yeah. This would be the capital of the eastern, and the distance between Ulaanbaatar and Underhan there isn't that big. Let's make I don't know. Maybe Dontqav should also be in the southern. And then in this case, from Ulaanbaatar to Mantlqav, we could have good road and then travel there without a problem. And then the capital of the western should be Zavhan, I guess, Olesta. And from Olesta to Ulaanbaatar, it's not that what you call close, but still, like if we could have a railroad system from here to there, then that would be great. Why? Because by doing so, all the people, let's say from Bayangulgi, Ofs, and Haupt, they would travel to Zavhan, not instead of Ulaanbaatar, to find work. And then the same would be like for the desert areas, they would go to Dontqav instead of Ulaanbaatar. And from Dontqav, it is easier for them to go to their own respective regions, and it'll take much less time. Similar way, Underhan and Erdent. And this way we could try to spread and diversify our population into these smaller areas. Maybe. Okay. I think I've talked too much on this topic. Okay. Of course. How much do I need to super chat for you to poo on stream? Good one. Google Blitz. Of course. Google, he has only fans for these type of things. He doesn't do it here. He'd be demonetized. He'll have to poo if you all ask him. Do political beliefs in Mongolia fit into the left wing, right wing dichotomy, or it's incomparable? I think it's incomparable. Because of course we can try to force things, but it's a little bit different, I think. Close like 400 kilometers. No, keep going if you want. It's interesting. Yeah, thank you. Oh, okay. I think I was just we had this thing. Well, let me take it down. This extra screen on the stream. Okay, so about the pooing during the stream, I could go and poo in the toilet, but not here, because that's gonna get me into trouble on YouTube. What else? The political position. And about left wing and right wing, I guess the main essence of the left wing is that people want to have more better social care systems, whereas the right wing tend to be a bit more on the corporational stuff, where the strongest live, like a bit more harsher, and the left wing is a bit more softer. Can we understand it that way? Like, to simplify things. Yeah. Nobody important, or Nina says, please don't shit. Yeah. I have to shit at some point, but not during the stream. So, yeah. To be honest, Mongolian politics, they don't get divided by the left and the right wing type of things. They're just divided by parties. And parties, different political parties, they offer different solutions. And I think they're all mixed. But I would say the Democratic Party, they lean more towards the American form of things, whereas we have Revolutionary Army, not army, damn it, party, and that one is a bit more conservative, I guess. And then we do have another political party which goes by the name like People's Party. And these are the three main parties that we have now. We have fourth or fifth, but I don't get to hear about them that much. These are the main ones. But I think they all have leaders who are in the same group, kinda. Like, they make it like a drama, like a play. Even though these parties are different, their leaders should be more or less related to each other, one way or another. I heard that Mongolian government is trying to bring back the traditional Mongolian script. How is this going? Have you noticed less of Russian alphabet, or it's nothing changing? I wouldn't say it's gonna. The Mongolian alphabet thing, I think they're trying to restore it more in schools and maybe in the government documents, but I would say it'll have to take at least another decade to see results. Now they just have to teach more people how to read and write without a problem. Once that problem is solved, I think we can get to this second step. So nowadays, a lot of people can read, but it takes a little bit of time because they don't read it on a daily basis. So, like this, educating the people will take time, I think. And there's already a wealth of information written in Cyrillic, so we're not gonna fully abolish Cyrillic. We just have to coexist with it. At least in my lifetime, we'll have to stick with Cyrillic. And who knows, maybe after like few decades, for the next generation, maybe they'll try to go more, lean more towards Mongolian script. But Mongolian script comes with so many problems. When you try to implement it in softwares and so on, Cyrillic is much better because it works like Latin. Are they embracing tradition or socialism time? I would say they're embracing more traditions now, I guess. But we don't think that much bad things about socialism other than few destructive traits, but overall, socialist times were good times, better times than now, in some way. About politics of Mongolia, maybe the government, the only thing I know is the state Great Horal. Do you know any more about this topic? Excuse me, my English is a little bit bad. No, it's good, man. Natsumi Martina Flor. Your English is just fine, yeah. It's better than mine. State Great Horal. Yeah, it just goes with many different names. The essence is the same. It's a meeting, assembly. Horl is when people come together. Horch. Essentially, it's the same. Just different. The structure was different. The political structure was different at the time, but what they used to do there was the same. What I can say is that for the state Great Horal used to participate leaders of 1,000 units. So each unit, I guess, comprised of one representative from one family, coming all like 10 of them coming together, 10 representatives, electing one leader among themselves, and then 100 people come together, and their leaders of each 10th unit would choose leader of 10 hundreds, and then 1,000 people come together, and the leaders of hundreds of units would choose leader of the 1,000th unit, and the leader of 1,000th unit had the access to the state Great Horal, or I would just say Ose Horal, or Horal, yeah, just Horal, and yeah, just that's how things used to go. And if there was any problem from the people, they would all go from one level up, let's say from individual person to the family, from the family to the 10th unit. So, and then the 10th unit would go to the 100, and hundreds would go to thousands, and then the leader of thousands would take all those problems compressed, and then they would, he or she would notify it to the other leaders during the meeting. And then if there's any going to be budgets or help fund, then the government would pass it on to the leader of thousands, and then the leader of thousands would spread all the budget to the leader of hundreds, and the hundreds would pass it on to the tens, and then tens would pass it on to each family, and from each family, each person, each individual would get the help from the government. That's how things used to roll. Great system. I wish we had it now. Maybe it's incompatible with today's or way of things, but I think it's more understandable this way. I heard that the atmosphere in Newbie is quite dirty. Is the government taking any steps to fix this? I have to say it's been, like, in my opinion, it's been getting better. Mostly because people have become more conscious about their environment. But some people say it's getting worse, but from my experience, things are getting better. In the past, people, even me included, we didn't really pay much about our environment. We used to throw garbages outside. But now I see quite a lot of people, including myself, going for the garbage can to throw away garbages. Even though we don't have that many garbage cans on the street, I think they're being stolen by some people. But still, it's getting better, I think. At least I don't see that many garbage, at least in the city center. Oh, damn it. I can. Sorry. Yep. Properties. Mono. Okay. Now you should be able to hear it in both of your ear because of OBS. Like OBS, I don't know why, but it always has the automatic system, default system on stereo. Like, why? Why? You should have it mono. Don't put it on the left ear and right ear. Like every time I have to like do something with OBS, like update it or whatever, I have to change the settings back and forth. Damn it. Okay, sorry. How is the relationship with other Mongolic nations and with Turkic nations? Good, mostly good. Yeah, with Uzbekistan things have been rough because they got defended by a few decisions, but recently I think our diplomatic relations have gotten much better. With Turkmenistan, I don't know. Turkmenistan is a very closed state. I don't know whether if we have any connections with them or not. With Turkey, it's good. We have a lot of Turkish products nowadays, and it seems Turkey wants to cooperate with Mongolia more. Some people don't like it because Turkish people look like Arabs and Persians and like Balkans. So some people say that yeah, they don't look like one of us. Oh, why are they trying to connect with us? But I don't mind, to be honest, as long as Turkey don't have any ill intentions, as long as they have mutual respect and everything, it should be fine. Yeah, but I do think Turkey is a predatory country, a bit more. They have this wish to expand, so we have to be careful, but still Turkey is cool. Are social issues, racism, homophobia really discussed in Mongolia? I guess yes, it is discussed, but when it's discussed, like homophobia, racism, it feels cringy here. Because it feels like we're trying to imitate the Western countries. It's like, yeah, okay. But I guess it has to be discussed. But it's cringy. It's a bit unusual to hear it. Like whenever I hear it, I hear the same words, which I hear from the Western counterparts, but it's just in Mongolian, and then from Mongolian people, it's like, oh, okay. But anyways, that's just me. But yes, we do have some problems where people from one region don't like people from the other regions, and I think we need to have unity, compassion, mutual understanding, and just if we can't help each other, at least we shouldn't become a burden for each other. That's what I think. So yeah, I don't know if you can call it racism. It's not a racism, it's just separatism, I guess. Or selfishness. Those things are kind of problems here. Not much of racism. For me, racism isn't that much of a problem. We don't like Chinese people, but it's passed on in the genes, so yeah. Hello, Sian says, hello from Ireland. How has the war in Ukraine affected relations with Russia in your view? What is the general public sentiment like towards the war? Yeah, that's a very good question, because unlike many other countries around the globe, Mongolia is in a tricky situation, geopolitically speaking. We reside right in between Russia and China. So our economy, our survival, everything, the energy and so on, it depends on Russia and China. Not fully, but to quite a big extent compared to many other countries around the world. So we have to look at it from the perspective of not morals, but from consequences. If we start shouting the wrong words, we'll have negative consequences, right? So we have to keep it safe, play it safe. We don't take sides. And 32 years ago, our government decided that it's best not to take sides. It's best to play it safe, best to play neutral. And we're still doing it this way. When some people try to speak up about their opinion on Ukraine and war, others tell them to shut the hell up, because we don't want to get on the big brother's bad side, right? Because we don't want to suffer, because really, like, economically speaking, we're not in the best situation right now. Things have been going down. We had COVID. China was a asshole at the border, not letting things in. And then problems in Ukraine affected us economically as well. So we don't want to go any further. Like, others can speak about it, and if they can get away with it, that's great, but we can't do that. We don't have the luxury, so we have to keep shut about it. Yeah. So we don't want to take sides. We don't want to be like little children, like, hey, I'm on this side, hey, you're on that side. Nah, that's stupid. We have to be more mature. Think about consequences. Okay. Plasma says, there we go. Laura says, yeah, equality is cringe as hell. Yeah, equality is cringe. That's for sure. That I do believe in equality, but to some extent, not fully. As a human being, we all have to have. It would be nice to have same, if not same, at least a founding, like a basis, rights and responsibilities as a human being, right? Because after human being, you have male and female, you have all different works: policeman, judge, normal workers, diplomats, politicians, and so on. And then you'll, depending on each occupation, each whatever you do, each role, you'll have different rights and different responsibilities. But at least as a human being, we need to have one right and one responsibility, at least similar. That would be nice. Yeah. So I don't fully believe in equality. That's very vague, ambiguous, and baseless, in my opinion. Yeah. What is the view of most Mongolian about neighbor currently? Neighbors, or neighbor, as in Russia. If it's Russia, to be honest, majority of us don't give a damn. It's their business. It's not our business to meddle with. We don't have that strong propaganda going on, like in Russia or like in the West. We're more chilled, like objective, cool. This is happening, but it's not like this is happening and then they're evil. No, we don't have this kind of sentiment in our newspapers. So yeah, some people are against it, some people don't mind it, the others are supported. Kind of mixed, I would say. Chad Mongolia version West. Yes, yes, yes. That's true. That's true. Kinda. Even though economically, and politically speaking, uh, we're not doing that great compared to the Western countries, but at least we're not highly impacted by these propagandas. That's what I'm quite happy about right now. What else about Mongolia? Like recently I started considering, but I don't know if it's really worth doing it. I started considering maybe I could try to join a political party here in Mongolia. Yeah, just to understand the atmosphere, the culture, the situation, to see things from the inside, rather than reading news about it. Because reading news can be a bit, what do you call, delusive, right? But by being among the company, yeah, I might start to understand who is doing what and why. And that might help me to think things from different perspective. But to be honest, I don't know which Mongolian political party would suit me. And I don't know if it's even worth it. But just curious at least for now. Why do I feel like you're gonna become the president one day? Mongolia sounds like a democratic but conservative country. Kinda, yeah, kinda. Or perhaps lead a rebellion. Very interesting. I wish we were a little more cool-headed about it here too. Thanks. Hey, hey, hey. Great. I think president doesn't have that much power. If I wanted to have power, probably I would try to go for the Minister of Finance. If I become the Minister of Finance, I would know where the money is going to who, when, and so on, and where, how much. And in this, like with that information, I think a lot can be done. But I don't know if I'm the best candidate for that position, because I don't have much knowledge about money and so on. But what I do know is that by being in that position, someone will have the map of Mongolia when it comes to money, the money map of Mongolia. It's just not just money map, it's the power map of Mongolia. Is it within the hands of the Minister of Finance? That person might be able to do so many things, I think. We'll have a lot of network connections. Cool stuff. The thing is, Mongolia can't really allow itself taking sides, while in the West it affects them very much, so they take sides. Yeah. Are there regions of Mongolia left behind economically? Depends. All the regions apart from the capital city are left behind. Yeah, and Ashnan, yeah, that's true. In the West, it's a necessity, I guess. If you don't take sides, you're not part of the group. If you're not part of the group, you can't do much. So yeah, all the regions besides South Gobi and Hinti, but yeah, South Gobi and Hinti, they're not. I think they're left behind economically as well. Well, Hinti, when it comes to tourism, yeah, it's like birthplace of Genghis Khan, but Hinti doesn't have that much going, I think. Like you have Ulaanbaatar, Erdenet, and Darkhan. These are the three main cities, but those two, they're not really even considered properly as a city. So I would say all the regions are economically left behind. Tell me something about modern relationship between Mongolia and China. Something about Inner Mongolia, Tibetan including. Okay, yeah, I live in South Italy, which is half as rich as the north. Yeah, fancy pants. Are you from Sicily by any chance? If you're from Sicily, I think you're so silly. Oh, that's a stupid joke. Okay. Mongolia and China, we try to be friends. Economically and politically. At least we don't want to get on the bad side. We do depend on their products. Tibet, we can't say much because we don't want to intervene in their politics. We want to play it safe. Yeah. So yeah, at least for now, we just want to play safe. That's the main goal. How frequently do Mongolians immigrate to East China, Korea, Japan, etc.? Quite often, I would say. Mostly to Korea to work for 3 months and get rich, come back and get car, get an apartment, and live a fine life for the next 1 or 2 years. Kazakhstan used to be economically like Mongolia before Soviets forced them into kolkhoz and sovkhoz. We also had similar things like kolkhoz and sovkhoz. Yeah, some economical systems that didn't work out that well, but still, it worked to some degree. And Fancipa says, yes, I'm Sicilian. I like Godfather. Sicily. I like the flag of Sicily. It's like a woman with 3 legs. Like I don't know, like strange. How to describe that? I don't know. No, it's not. Something like this. I hear it's a great place where you can see a mixture of different civilizations throughout the history. You have the Arabic, Roman, maybe some other like Germanic, like a Norman type of things, all in one place. Quite cool stuff. You sent what I was thinking, Laura. Kazakhstan-Mongolia relationship should be interesting. Regarding the Jungar war, I know they were more what is now in Uyghur, and also big exodus of Kalmyk to Jungari. Yeah, Jungars. Yeah, actually, I'm partially from Jungars as well. So. But yeah, we love our Kazakhs. I'm just joking, but yeah, we love them. Some people don't like them, but we should be friendly with each other. That's what I think. Yeah, some people can. Some people don't appreciate puns. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. What type of job would they be doing in Korea? We call them black jobs. Harajl. Black jobs are usually like construction stuff. They're paid well, very well. And Mongols are very good at doing construction work, especially the guys from the countryside. They have great stamina, strength, and endurance. They make good construction workers, kinda. Yes, it's funny because it hurts so much. I mean, Kazakhstan had a lot of nomadic herders earlier and were more similar to Mongolia. There were not many styles before. Yeah, Kazakhstan, yeah, when it comes to way of life, it was the same. But now it's very Russian-fied, that's for sure. They speak Russian quite often. We look at them and they're like, nah, you lost your tradition, you lost your culture, man. Like, you look like one of us, but you know, you're not as cool as us. Because you speak Russian, we don't. We're better than you. Kinda. We have this competitive thing. They will agree on this. They're ashamed. Not fully, but somehow they're ashamed. But it's just what happened in the history. They can't change much. But yeah, they can change the future. So I think they're trying to become less connected to Russians these years, I think. A woman with 3 legs is considered a man. That's a good one. You know. A says, "Are you a Mongolian monarchist?" How to say? Monarchy is not something I support fully. I do like the idea of having a king, Han, but Han doesn't mean it is a monarchy, because monarchy, it means one power, monarchia, and monarchy is not stable. If one person goes crazy, then we can't do much about it, right? So the power, at least in the good old times, the power was divided into 4 different fields. First was the king, second was the ministers, third were the assembly of the wise men, and then the fourth were the people. So it was political power that is based on 4 different directions. I guess that's what they used to call them, and they all had power to some extent in different ways. That's how things were more stable, I guess. I prefer that one because nowadays we have 3 main powers. Like president is not considered to be a power, so we have the parliament, the government, and the judicial thing, the court, the judge. But the thing is, Mongolian parliament and government, they are kind of together under one power, so it's kind of messed up. It's not very stable, in my opinion. I prefer the old ways. I heard from a Kazakh that thanks to Mongolians, they look so East Asian and not so European, red-haired. I know it sounds not very logical. Yeah, Kazakhs and Kyrgyz, they say they were blonde, they had blue eyes. I think it's what you call Stockholm syndrome. They want to look more like Russians. Shame on them. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it's true, or maybe it's just that they're cocks. Okay. Power on non-Mongolian treated, like Tuvans, Kazakhs, Buryats. No, Buryats are Mongol, but I mean one who aren't half. That's a good question, because even Halkha people among themselves, they don't like each other. So there are people who don't like everyone, but you can't really be liked by all of them, right? But majority of the people don't give a shit, to be honest. They don't care. There are just only few people who are not content with themselves, so they end up hating on others and make excuse to hate on others. So that's another topic. Just understand that we don't care much about others. Yeah. Well, Mongolia already has a king. His name is Bronzex. Yeah. German says Mongolia has a king. Bronzex Hurulsu is the president now, and he's trying to. I think he's trying to get the presidential government in Mongolia. I think. I don't know if it's true, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to get more power. Me personally, I wouldn't want that. He's very cringy. Very cringy. But his ways work though. I heard Tuvans are more Tengris without Buddhism. Nah. Tuvans are also Buddhistic people. It's the same as us. Yeah, like different regions. Like, to be honest, the Tuvans were part of us, kinda. They're not really that different. It's just a Russian way of conquering different lands, divide and conquer. So they made this distinctive national identity for Tuvans. They were supposed to be Oranjas, at least historically speaking. The Oranjas of the ancient tribes from the Han Empire. I only know that Kazakhs under each video about Mongolia they write that Genghis Khan was Kazakh. The Mongols were invented in USSR. It's so annoying. Kazakhs were invented in 15th century. There were no historical mentions before 15th century about Kazakhs. They were Kyrgyz. At least that's what I heard. So, yeah. Kyrgyz, on the other hand, they are also ancient nomadic people whose names are mentioned in the historical texts almost from 2000 years ago. So, yeah, but the Kazakhs, no, like 500 years. That's what we know about them. Well, there's also the stupid idea of Great Tartaria, that was a Russian empire. Like Tartaria, like Tartar, that's a cringy name because Tartar is like this part of the mouth, but the other way it should be Tatar, the nomadic people. They did leave a lot of their descendants in Russia during the Bathan time. Mongols were invented in US. It makes me think of mad scientists creating a Mongol in a lab or something. What do you think about super powerful one-man rulers in the Middle East Turkic state? Is it a must? Nikras, if that person truly is capable of creating great system of governance and being able to control many influential people under his grasp, then why not? That would be great. It's just that at the moment I don't think there is anyone capable of doing that. So it's better to divide those responsibilities into several different human beings. But if one person can do it, that's great, sure, why not? But one difficult thing is that how long will such government last? Because it'll last as long as that person is there. And their children may not be able to achieve the same feat. So that's a problematic thing. Mongols are Mewtwo's then. Good one. Did the commentary about Tuvan and Mongol right? Well, Not surprised. Kazakhs seem to be descendants of the Kipchak people. Yeah, Kipchak. Kyrgyz are also Kipchak. And Kazakhs do share like 30 to 35% of their genes from Mongols. So Kipchaks and Mongols came together, I guess. Do you have any special political plans in Mongolia for future? Maya Sip is asking whether if I have special political plans in Mongolia for future. I would like to expand it. That would be nice. If I can expand the Mongolian territory, I'll be like, yay, I can die peacefully. Because I can go and meet my ancestors with great pride and dignity. And then they'll be like, come son, like sit in the close to the altar. And then like, yes, thank you. That would be nice. That would be nice. Well, who's the Mew? I might have to meditate on that. I think Batman knows I can die peacefully. Good joke, good joke. That was a good joke. Mew, it's a Pokemon. Mew is a legendary Pokemon, and then Mewtwo is an experiment to make a clone of Mew, and they managed to make a clone, and the clone was called Mewtwo, but the clone was much more buffer, bigger, stronger, and the Mew is more cute, fluffy one. I'm still wondering how Kipchak Turkey people with possible Bulgar ancestry, not the Slavs, but the Turkey people got named after Mongolian tribe. I mean Tatars. No. Tatars, they're not, originally speaking, if my information is true, they're not Turkic. The original Tatars. They were more related to Khitan, more related to Jushchit, yeah, the Manchurians. I think they spoke a Mongolic dialect, but the origin was similar to Khitans. Khitans are like, they don't exist today. I don't think they exist today. They used to be very strong in the past. And the Tatars, they became part of the Mongolian Empire. They joined forces together and attacked Russia during the Bathan time, and then a lot of Tatars were left in Russia. And I think a lot of Tatars got mixed with Turkic people and started to adopt Turkic language, and slowly they got Turkified, I think. That's my theory, but I could be wrong. So, and I think Khitans aren't Mongolic but related to them. This is theory, but Jushchin were closer to Manchurs, right? Jushchins were closer to Manchurs, and I think Khitans were closer to Jushchins. I could be wrong, but I do have this thought. At least historically speaking, that is, like, genetically speaking. But yeah, I have to say there are a lot of words in Mongolia which we've borrowed from Khitans. Like, for example, the word for horse is the same in the Khitan language and in Mongolia. Mari. Like today we say mur. I think they used to say mari. Mocha, which is a snake. Yama, goat. And many other those kind of words had the same stuff. To be honest, I don't know much because there are remnants of history. they no longer exist today. So it's very difficult to get more information about them. One of the sad things about history is that those people who lost, they are forgotten. So I don't know for how many years, for how many centuries they'll be remembered, but I think because they lost at some point, people will forget about them. I think they're called Tatars because Russians call them, every Turkic people, Tatars. Azerbaijan were called Transcaucasian Tatars. Before Tatarstan, Tatars called themselves differently, like Bulgars, Kazanlar, or Musalmanlar. I don't know much about Tatars today, but I know that the Tatars that we had originally in Mongolia used to call themselves Tatars, and they were proud of their name. But the modern Tatars, I don't know. They seem different. They're more mixed, cultural speaking, but we do find common cultural traits. But because they've been living in a different environment, close to different people, for many centuries, they've changed a lot. Is it true that it's somewhat easier for people of Mongolian nationality to obtain citizenship in Mongolia? I don't know. I've never tried that thing before. I've never met anyone who did that before, so I can't say for sure. But it would make sense if a Buryat person tries to get Mongolian citizenship. We might make a bit of favor, because in Mongolia, not everyone follows the laws. We're versatile. Thank you for teaching me how to do throating. You're the reason I can do. Hey, oi sepa, oi, ola spatiala. Thank you. Yay. Does Mongolia have issues with unemployment? If so, how does your system handle it? Are there special programs of one needs financial support but one can't work for various reasons? I think there should be many programs going on. In terms of effectiveness, I don't know how effective those programs are. We do have problems with unemployment. And like during the socialist times, this problem was not a problem. Just that today in the capitalist system, it's a problem now. Because things are run by money, and if the organization can't make money, then that's a problem. But I don't know much. I know that people with disabilities, they get to work in places where they need their help. But yeah. Back to politics. What about environmental or special species conservation? You have some cool wildlife there. Yeah, we do have many programs coming from our government and coming from international organizations where they do try to conserve destroying certain parts of nature. So yeah, it's like constant battle between these people. Those who want to make money from nature, and then those who want to save nature. They're always bashing on each other, always monitoring, so on. Does political situation in the world influence among? Of course. Inflation and everything. The gas price, for example. The gas price is like one of the main things that influence on our economy, because everything is run by gas, like by petrol. The logistics, the train, I don't know, cars. You need to have gas, and For example, if you want to get some products from Russia, we need what you call big trucks to carry those items. But if those big trucks, they consume so much petrol, and then if the price of petrol goes up, then the price of logistics, the delivery goes up, and then all the items will have more price. So that's one of the reasons why we're having inflation right now. One of the reasons. That socialism worked well in Mongolia because of the smaller population compared to Soviet Union. It worked and it didn't work well. It wasn't the best, and to be honest, it's not like capitalism is working well. It's not. Like capitalism is shit, to be honest. Like, of course it works, but it's not working well. And socialism worked. It didn't work well, but it worked. I think the Eastern Bloc, the socialist blocs, first it wasn't the most practical system because it was long-term planned, and the second is that it had many rivals all around the world who were happy to bring us down in any way possible because they saw us as threats. So combination of internal and external factors came together and crumbled the foundation of our economy. Yeah, I think that's what happened. So it's not like socialist economy fell because it was faulty by itself. No, it was faulty, but someone pushed it from behind. That's what I think. Like, I'm trying to blame others. Maybe that's not the best thing to do, but yeah, I believe in this. Russia stops giving gas to Mongolia too. It's not like they stopped giving us gas, it's just that they increased the price. If they increase the price just a little bit, it's gonna have huge impact. Nowadays, Mongolian politicians are against normal people like you and me, and the law is broken as well. To be honest, laws don't work much on the higher ups. It's not like they're against us. It's just that whatever they're trying to do goes against our interest. And what we want to do goes against their interests. So they have to do whatever they can do to gain what they want. And to gain what they want, I guess some of them have to sacrifice the livelihood of certain people. So I guess that's what you call the political game. Maybe. Oh, important question. A lot of Russians go now to Georgia, Armenia, and Kazakhstan. You got more Russians in UP. Yeah, we had a lot of Russian immigrants a month or 2 months ago when they started mobilization. I have to say a lot of Burats came. Tuvans as well. And maybe some Kalmyks. Most of the Russians who came, they traveled to other countries like Turkey, Vietnam, and so on, because they prefer those other countries compared to Mongolia, because there isn't much for them to do here. Whereas Burats, they're trying to settle in Mongolia because Mongolia is closest to Burats when it comes to culture and environment and so on. So yeah, we have many Burats here now. And then they're trying to build businesses, they're trying to work and so on, which is very nice. Well, Buryats and Tuvans make sense because they're much more often mobilized than ethnical Russians. This is what they say, and then another Buryat person told me that it's because in Tuva and Buryatia they don't have much work, so a lot of young men, they go to army because in armies they have salary, they have accommodation, they have career, and so a lot of young men were there. Compared to Russians, Russians had more work, I guess, in other different regions. And then when the war started out, people who were in the army were sent to the front, and then a lot of ethnical Buryats and Tuvans were there because they joined the army beforehand. That's what I've heard. It's not like they're trying to send more Buryats. Maybe they are, who knows? But there's another perspective on this. I feel so Buryat lose their language. I feel bad, but then at the same time I'm like, shame on you. That's very bad coming from me, but if I have to be cold-hearted, yes, and then they would understand it. But at the same time, it's also Russian politics, because they want to assimilate the minorities, so they're doing language policies there by making the Buryatian language useless for career development. A lot of Buryats would prefer to speak Russian because it's more cooler and you can get more things done. So it's kind of a bit more conscious decision by the Buryats themselves. Kinda. It's not like 100%, but still. So it's understandable from both sides. You said Russians used Mongolia to go then in Turkey, for example. Why? Because they're not as close as I know. It's because Turkey, like, the Russians want to go to Antalya. They want to rest. They want to have a vacation. But they don't want to be in Mongolia because Mongolia is cold. Would you rather be in Antalya, close to the sea, warm, nice food, cheap food? Yes, of course you would want to go to Antalya. No one wants to be in Ulaanbaatar, especially during winter. No one wants to be here. At least, my essay, they prohibit men to leave their federal subjects freely in Russia. My essay is Russian, so. So I guess people just move first out of their country, then go wherever they want. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm from Russia. Yeah. Oh, hey, who's that? By the way, Ashinen, where are you from? Like, I have this feeling you could be Indian. I have a lot of Russian friends. Hey, Uska, I'm from Mongolia. Yeah. Hey. Sanoksha, Yan. Origins are very complicated. Sound like Ash from Pokemon. My dad is from India, true. How do you know? Because your name is Ashnan. I had this feeling. I just guessed. It's just a guess though. So. Nam bro. Hey, let's go. What is the policy of the Mongolian government on the internet? We have less and less oxygen every day in Russia. We have less oxygen in terms of porn. Some of the porn websites are censored, so we can't access them with normal browser. We have to use VPN. Not that I'm watching porn, but still. It's not November. Never mind. But mom is from Ukraine, so well, yay, Ukraine. Slava Ukraina. Ashton, he has actually very good intuition. But now living in the West, in Germany. Hey, nice. I have good intuition. Hey. Hallo, wie geht es dir? Ich bin ein Kartoffel. Ich möchte essen Weißwurst, aber ich bin nicht und gay. Weißwurst ist und Food of Bavaria. Yes. Okay, I know that's ein Kartoffel essen. I could be wrong. I was a big fan of Genghis Khan. I became a big fan of Mongolic Turkic skating. So yeah, very cool. Yay. This is some decent German. Yay. I should practice my German. I'm not improving much. Just saying the good old things. Yeah, Genghis Khan, he's great. Great stuff. Great governor. How to say? One of those. It is said that in every times there are always gifted people who are prominent in their own field. Genghis Khan was one of them. His greatest skill was in governing, in the governance, in creating different systems. That's what he was really good at. Gifted from the Father Sky, I guess. Viele Leute from Deutschland sind hier. Laura, das ist gut, sehr gut. Yeah, I watched this Russian Mongol movie where Temujin was played by Japanese actor. Oh yeah, that one sucks. To become a fan of Mongolian culture, is it enough to eat both once? Yes. Du musst essen ein Boot. Lass uns Deutsch sprechen. Jetzt bin ich Arbeiter. So ich bin sehr glücklich. Ja. Ja, Deutsch ist deutsches Brot. Es ist gesund. Wo sind doch meine Balkaner? Ich bin ganz allein. Ja. Ich liebe Brötchen. Mit Fisch. Und Vinegar. Ich will essen. Brötchen mit Fisch. Vielleicht nach Osteuropa, shame on me. Hey. Fischbrötchen von Nordsee, yum. Nordsee. Ja. Was else kann ich sprechen? Ich spreche sehr gut Germanisch. Herring salad. Hey, someone speaks Korean. 안녕하십니까? 김치 케밥 고맙습니다. 어머니 아버지 떡볶이 떡볶이 닭도레닭. I don't know Korean. Damn it. Hey, my dudes, it is indeed Wednesday. Yeah, it is indeed Wednesday. That's for sure. They have Estonia has and also origins in Russia. Estonian black bread is nice. Bread from Uzbekistan is like that's like. Ich glaube, du liebst Brot mit Käse. Bread with cheese, yes. It's hachapuri, yeah, yes. Hachapuri is Brot mit Käse from Georgia. Also, ich liebe Käse. Ja, Käsebrötchen. Käsebrötchen is hachapuri. No longer speaks Korean. Hunara juna. Aniri ani none. That's what I know from Korean. Black bread is the best. I should try that if I get the chance then. Sefet aber lecker. Lecker is like lecker. The liquor. Oh, Uzbek bread is like naan. Kinda. I guess it's kinda like naan. It's flat. And it's delicious as hell. If Mongolians could press magic button in Great Khanat, would the average person do it? Of course. Like, I would do it without any hesitation. Come on, like if I had this button right in front of me, I'd like just click on it without thinking, really. Hachapuri is Georgian. There are different variety. Also, one with cheese and egg. Yeah, and it's ajar in the hachapuri. Yep. I wanna eat that. That's my favorite food. It's like Georgian pizza, but they'll be offended if they hear this. Very good stuff. To be honest, I prefer eating hachapuri than pizza. Та захарлаа онтлоо сайхан амраа. Би ч гэсэн онтлоо өгшөө. Ингэсэд нөр хурч. Одоо 12:30 болж байна. Nobody important, but how do you call throating in Deutsch? It's like deep throat. Okay. I have to sleep now. It's a bit late here in Kalgasang. So yeah, it's late here. I have to go and sleep. The Mongols feel close to Yakuts and Tunguska people if they don't give rip about them. Maybe to Yakuts, not much to Tunguska people, but we're all nomadic people, so it's cool. Quite a lot of common things in languages. Well, we don't think much about them though. But still, like if you compare us to the others, then we'll be like, yeah, Tungolsiks are our distant relatives. Take care, my dudes. Yeah, you should definitely go to sleep. Danke. Danke schön. Ich muss schlafen. Right now, my eyes are getting like straight lines, like squinting. But I can see through them. You may not be able to see my eyes. Get some sleep. That was a great live. Thank you. Cool, man. Cool stuff. Cool podcast. Cool call. Thank you. James Verley. Tatar people weren't nomadic. I was surprised to find it out. Also, Manelsberg. Well, they were nomadic. It just that they became settlers because it's more comfortable. You have more stable food source. Like nomadic people, the food is a bit tricky. Why would you want to live nomadic life when you can cultivate food and store it for the next few months? So, of course, many of them decided to go for the comfortable life. Gute Nacht, Batman. Hey, danke. Gute Nacht, Ashnan. Nobody important. Nina says, Schlaf gut. Danke. Broken Fang says, go sleep. Danke. Nobody important says, Myself, you read my thoughts to myself. I call Kargra deep throat singing because it's the deepest style of throat singing. Yeah. Shao Huli says something in Hanzi. Okay, good night. Spokojnej nocy. Bye. Спасибо. Thank you all for joining in. Унтажа амраш. Yes, унтаж амрлаа. Жижигсэн унтаж амраарай өгшөө Ромен. Унтаж амраарай. За сайхан нарсараа. Манайхан баяртай. Нэр тэгж жагаад бүгдээр монголоор ярьж сурах шүү. За баяртай. Пока. Би унтлаа. I'm gonna sleep now. Bye. Thank you for joining.